Hey guys, we're here at the Tuscobia Trailhead, the Trailhead, I should say. We're going to do a little bit of van maintenance, replace some headlights. I've got both headlights work, but one of my high beams is out. These are older lights. So I'm going to show you on this one that this can be done easily, safely, right on the road. So let's get to work. One of the problems I ran into is that I have this headlight right here. I have my regular beams, but I don't have high beams on the one side. Don't mind all the extra sound. We're right next to a road. I believe it's Highway SS. We're in the trailhead of Tuscobia State Trail to get this done. I thought I'd kind of show you can do this anywhere on the road. You can do it in a Walmart parking lot or, auto parts store or any of that stuff. But I apologize for all the major traffic we got going by. So let's get started. We're going to start with spraying myself down with a little bit more bug spray. Mosquitoes are out pretty nasty right now. Yeah, they're pretty bad. One got me on the side of the face, one got me behind the ear as soon as I got out of the vehicle. So bug spray, it's a must. So I'm going to pop the hood and let's get started. So one of the things that you're going to see here is down inside here, you have, right up here, you have a, this is an adjustment to adjust the angle of the headlight up and down. And then this one over here is the angle left and right. So leave these alone. You don't want to mess with these. There's 4 screws. They're Phillips head. So if you have a small, long Phillips head screwdriver, you can take these out. I just noticed I have one missing down here. Don't mind all this white. That's from where I was doing repairs on the front, so I got to wash that off. But again, this is left and right adjustment. This is up and down adjustment for a headlight. Leave these alone. Don't touch these. And then down inside, see if this will get me down there. It's kind of hard to see. Down inside here, you can't really see it, but there is a plug for the headlights. And I'll show you. I come down here on these, and you can see it in the back. Here's the little plug. And you're going to have that plug in to take out from the other lights to put into your new lights. So we'll get the metal covers off, and then we'll get installing the new headlights. Right around the corner there, I don't know if he was sleeping. Hopefully I didn't wake him up. I saw the bikes on the back, so I thought, maybe he's just boondocking or something. It's just a little small car, but he left. I apologize if I woke him up. Well, let's get these. As you can see, just a basic screwdriver, Phillips head. This one's got drywall dust all over it. So cracking these loose sometimes. I don't know if we're going to be able to get them loose. Oh, yep, they came loose. If yours are rusted, probably spray a little bit of WD-40 on them before you do this. Okay, so now I have the 3 screws that I had. I have those out. And what's going to happen is you have to carefully remove the metal bracket, as the screws will fall out unless you have a magnetic tip screwdriver, which I thought mine was, but it is not. And then you do that, you drop a screw. So now I got to find it. I should be able to find it. So here's a little metal bracket that you're taking off. Like I said, you have 4 screws to take out. All they are is little, I'll put it up there. This one's rusted. Just a little Phillips head screw. So you take this bracket off. I just put it right up on top. Now we can actually pull this out enough to get to the connector in the back. So let's do that. As you can see, there's a connector. And all I do is just gently wiggle it. Don't pull on the cord here because that's where your electrical connections are. Grab a hold of the piece, and I'll show you in just a second as soon as I get this off. And I just wiggle it because a lot of times it's got corrosion from salt, and if you live in an area with salt and they salt the roads. And it's coming out slowly. All right, so as you can see the corrosion on here? That can actually also affect your headlight too. One thing you can pick up is something called dielectric grease. I don't have any, unfortunately. So hopefully the new bulbs come with a little bit on there. Make sure you take care of these, dispose of them properly in your area. All right, so while I'm down here, I'm going to check the connection. There's a little bit of corrosion in there. It's not too bad. I don't know if you can see that. See the white on there? That's just a little bit of corrosion. So it's not really that big a deal. The big deal is trying to find where that screw went. That's going to be fun. Woohoo, should do a dance. This one was actually, it was just laying right down on top there. So I got really lucky. So try and keep a hold of these. If you have a magnetic tip screwdriver, probably be a good idea. Mine are not. They used to be at one time. I can remagnetize them. It's pretty easy. If you want to know how to magnetize your screwdriver, being I'm an electrician, I can show you a really cool trick to magnetize it, but it's not going to stay magnetized forever. So even though these were at one time, they're not anymore because they've been beat on, and anytime you beat on a screwdriver, it actually messes up the magnetism inside the tip. So I have two again. I had three. I lost the other one. Oh, there it is. So yeah, put the screws somewhere where you can find them. I'm going to put mine up top up here. Put the screwdriver somewhere where I won't lose it. Let's get the headlight. Now this is what I went with. I went with a Silver Star. These were about 25 bucks a piece. It came to $52 at my O'Reilly's Auto Parts. You could probably order them off of Amazon or something. A mosquito got me right in the ear. Little bugger. Sylvania, good brand name. Why it's yellow on the screen, I don't know. That's weird. Maybe I'll have to adjust that in post. But this was the most expensive one because they're sealed, and they're also a very bright white. The cheaper ones are more that the old yellow tin from the old halogen bulbs, but these are sealed and they are the bright white. This is probably the step under getting the LEDs, and personally I don't think the LEDs are a good idea for headlights, just for the sole fact that you're literally blinding everybody you're driving into. They'd be great for out on the road if you're boondocking. Eventually I'll put all the way across the top of the van, I'm going to put an LED strip bar, just for being, like if you're late at night and you're out boondocking somewhere and you need a lot of light. I'll put some on the front, and I was thinking about putting some on the back. So with that, I'll show you just how easy these are to install. And I feel really, really bad that that guy might have been sleeping or taking a nap, and I woke him up. That was not my intent at all. So if he ever watches this, he had the little car with the bikes on the back over in the Tuscobia Trail parking lot, I apologize. You could have come over and said hi. I got beer. Nothing says friends like beer, right? Okay, so this comes with a little plastic cap on the back. You see it? Just remove that cap. Again, dispose of it properly. And then it's as simple as just plugging them back in. And you can do it to this side, and then you do it to the other side. Very simple. So I'll speed this up, and we'll go all the way through doing this one and then doing the other one, and then we'll talk about how long it takes to replace your headlights. So let's get to work. All right, so we got both the headlights installed. A couple of things that you can do if you're really concerned about it is a couple things you can add that I didn't. If I ever have to change the headlights again, I will. Number one is dielectric grease. They sell it in little tubes. It's not very expensive. You can pick it up at any auto parts store. It's made for the electrical connections. I'll probably go ahead and do that. I'll pick some up later today. And then the other thing is either they make something called anti-seize, which is like they sell it in little tubes again. You can use that on the screws when you put them back in, or you can put a little bit of oil on them. Or if you want, find the manufacturer of the vehicle that you have and pick up some stainless steel screws and put them in there. Again, I would recommend some anti-seize on them. That helps them from rusting, and then if you ever have to take them back out. But you don't normally have to replace headlights very often, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the key on, and hopefully both my headlights, low beam and high beam, are working on both sides. So let's give it a try. Low beams are good. And it looks like we still have this one side's out over here. So it wasn't the headlight, it's actually the connection. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I'm gonna sand the contacts down with a little bit of sandpaper and put some dielectric grease in there and see if that solves the problem. If not, what it is I'm gonna have to test the wiring inside. There might be a wire broke loose on the connector. So that's not good. I'll have to figure out, look up a wiring schematic to find out what side of the connectors you're going to have a low beam, high beam, and then probably a neutral or something going back. I'm going to have to find the problem with that and trace it out. First, I'm going to start with like wiggling the cord, see if that works. All right, so it looks like it's going to be a connection issue. One of the things that I could do would be to take this headlight out here, switch it over to that one, then take that one and put it over there. But I'm going to go out here on a limb and say, since these are brand new headlights, I just bought them, most likely it's probably a connection issue. So in the description, I will go ahead and put a description of what I did to fix it and what the problem was. Kind of give you an excuse me, kind of give you an idea of what to look for. But I have low beams, brand new headlights. I don't have high beams on this one side, so I'm going to have to figure out exactly what it is. Most likely it's just nothing more than a connection issue. I'll get some dielectric grease, take a little bit of sandpaper inside the connection, may even have to get another connector for the end of it. But like I said, if that's what it is, then I'll just go ahead and put a link down in the description. I should say a description down in the description box to let you know what I did. All right, so real quickly, I'm going to plug this in the last video or last part of the video where I was working on it. But I'm going to show you something here that I found. I got to learn how to hold this thing way out here. Hey, look, got to go to the bathroom. There's a bathroom. I said, you know, you're going to have a high beam, low beam, and then you're going to have neutral. Actually, it's not a neutral, it's a ground. And one of the reasons that could be a problem is a grounding issue. So I went ahead and pulled the connector off of the back of the light, which you can normally do if you can reach down inside the engine bay and actually pull that out. But you got to be real careful when you wiggle that out. So like if you have trouble getting the screws off the front, you know, you're worried about breaking the screws or snapping them off, you can pull it out of the back, but make sure you wiggle it really slowly. Don't pull on the wires themselves. But I want to show you what I found, and I'm pretty sure I found the issue. Now, the hard part's going to be, if you don't have the tools to repair it, it's going to be kind of difficult to do, but I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when I pulled this off of here, this is what I found. See this little green wire right here? That is your ground. So in one part of the electrical trade, I say pot, neutral, ground. That's in like residential, commercial, standard electrical. But one of the things that I see is I have a ground wire here, and I have a white wire and a black wire right there. And as you can see, what I did was I looked down inside there, and you see that? The connection's not even in there. So that's why I don't have high beams. So let's go ahead and pull the other side off. See if I can reach down in here. Might not be able to because the battery's right there. Get my hand down in there. Yep, I can't get my hand down in there. Oops. Well, I got it off. So on this side, you can just compare it. The ground goes right there in the center. One wire there, black wire on one side, white wire on the other. So I'm guessing because it's not grounded, that's going to pose a problem. So I'll go ahead and plug this one back in. I will fix I'll just leave that there for now. I'll go ahead and fix this one. I do have the tools with me. And as you can see, it's got a little snap on both sides. So you can pop this right open. Maybe. This is where you find your connections, or inside here. Let's see. Trying to hold on to the gimbal while I'm doing this. All right, so I'm gonna have to get a little screwdriver. Maybe. I just cut my nails, so just don't break them. All right, let me set this down, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. You should be able to pop this right open. There we go. Always works better with two hands. So you can hold on to one and the other one. So I will hold on to those other headlights because apparently it wasn't the headlight itself, it was actually the connection, which I should have checked at first, but you know, I bought this van that's got a lot of miles on it. It's probably never had its headlights changed. So I figured, you know, put new headlights on it. Come on, get out of there, you little bugger. All right, so now we can see the connections. As you can see, this knife in there. As you can see, we have terminal here, and then the other terminal. So this is a yellow wire, a black wire, and a green wire. So the green wire looks like it's snapped off. So I should be able to use my knife, possibly. Maybe pull this connector out. Oh, it's got a little tab in there. It's got a little teeny tab right here, right on that connector. Should be able to bend that back and push it down. Yeah, and it looks like the ground wire broke completely off, unfortunately. So let me get a really small screwdriver. And you may not have... Not really sure why the camera went haywire like that. Maybe it was the gimbal. So all you're going to need is a flathead and a Phillips head to do all this. So you're going to have a little piece right there. I don't know if we'll be able to get it out of there. I do have a whole bag of tools with me. Being an electrician, of course, then I'm going to have that. So this is a little teeny screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that. I bought these. This is a Greenlee set. These are excellent screwdrivers. So I think you can pick them up for like $30 for a set of 6 of them. And then they sell these little teeny ones. A set of 4 or 5 of these are like $30. You can buy cheap screwdrivers, just the real inexpensive ones. So let's see. I've never done this before, so you're doing this with me. I think you have to push it in. get it to push out. Okay, and one of the things I see here, before I try and pull this out, I may have to get a brand new connector, but there is a little bit of room right here to get a ground wire in there. It's snapped off inside of here. That's why I don't like crimps. The other sides look okay. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and fix this. And then I will put a description down in the bottom of the different tools that I used. You know, you could use to strip this off, you could use your teeth. Don't do that. Well, let's we'll get some copper exposed here, and then I have a pair of wire strippers to crimp this down, so I can actually crimp this down on the wire, and that'll remake this connection. So let's do that. I have my handy dandy wire strippers. If you don't have these, you can use just a knife. Like I always keep a box knife with me. So all we're going to do, just be careful pulling on these wires, is I need about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch of wire. So I'm just going to strip this back a little bit, just very carefully. Don't cut the copper if you can help it. This is kind of stuff that you have to do on the road yourself. If you're somewhere that needs to be fixed, you can do this real quick. So let's get a little more off of there. These wire strippers, it'd be good to have a set of these with you at all times. I think these are like 17 bucks. They're the reflex strippers. They're the ones I like, but everybody has their own preference. So you can use a knife, strip this wire back. Okay, so I've got a little bit of wire exposed. So all I'm going to do is bend this over and put it inside there. Right in that little hole right there. And I'm going to take these, and you can use a needle nose pliers if you have them. And I'm just going to crimp this down. It's not the best connection, but in a pinch, it'll work. If you have needle nose pliers, real long tip needle nose pliers, this work good too. But just give it a little small pull. Oh, it came out. That's not good. You don't want that. Let's see if we can get this back in here. Little screwdriver out here again, trying to open this back up. Let's get it open enough to get that ground back in there. You can see the other wires are in the way, so let's tuck this under there. And all we're trying to do is make a ground connection. So if it doesn't go in there, you know, just give it a twist, get it as small as you can. And then right away I'm going to order some more connectors for the headlights. And it'll come with these connectors. So all you have to do is just cut this wire back right at the connection, strip it back, and I'll do another video on how to do that. Matter of fact, I'll probably go to the parts store today. But this is just a temp fix for right now. That's not open as far as I want. Be careful you don't push through your finger. Alright, so I should have it open enough now. There we go. Back in she goes. Now this time, let's crimp it down really well. Make sure you're not crimping on that yellow wire. All I'm trying to do is just get a connection until I can get to a parts store. There we go. So now we got a good connection. This should be all good. Snap that closed. And then we'll put this back on. Put the other side on and we should be good to go. So you got black. So it's black on this side, yellow on this side, and this is your ground right in the middle. Or I'm sorry. Your black, your ground. So you got black, ground, yellow up top. So you got low beam, high beam, or vice versa, and then a ground right here. All right, so we got that. Let's see. Oh, this freaking camera. I turned my lights on. I went ahead and actually turned, come here camera, see if it'll follow me. I went ahead and turned this on to the actual headlights instead of the auto lights. So we've got, those are on. So let's go ahead and check it. Yep. So we've got, headlights are working. It's hard to see. As you can see there's, well, maybe I'll bend down. But yeah, this light is on. You feel the heat. Now let's see if that grounding was the problem. I'm guessing that's probably what it is. Okay, so we got high beams on. I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. Oh, there, see the blue light? So the high beams are on. So let's go check to see if that worked. Oh, look at that. It worked. So now we got high beams. Ta-da. High beams work. Both of them work. So we're good to go. So disregard everything after this little section. It was just a grounding issue. I will order some new connectors and then I'll do a video on how to install those and the tools that you need. But basically for this video, you'll need a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, just in case you need to take that frame off of the front. But you can do it from the back. I like to take them out on the front just because a lot of times they're corroded inside. Yeah, that's it. And then a pair of needle nose pliers or a pair of wire strippers. You should have wire strippers with you at all times, and a crimper, just in case. Maybe a soldering iron, some soldering if you know how to solder, just to keep, you know, I mean, you never know. You're on the road, you don't know what's going to happen. But that's about it. I have some rust to fix on that roof. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. See it? Right there? All the way along the front end of that. That is metal cancer. You got to get rid of that and then treat it. Some of that stuff just, yeah, it just flakes right off. So I'm going to have to get that all fixed. I did the front side of it, but I didn't do the underside. So we'll have to do a video on that, and then I'll do a video on the rust that I'm scratching my leg. I got bit up by mosquitoes. I'll do a video on that. Yeah, so we're good to go. So it was a grounding issue. Like I said, I'll do another video on the connectors and how to put those connectors on, and then what the price is. But headlights and all, I'm going to say it took me about an hour and 15 minutes to take out the old lights, install the new lights, and then diagnose that ground problem. But that's usually, check your connections in there. You can, like I said, you can pop that little cap off and then check those connections. Those are pretty corroded, so I'll probably get some new ones, and then you buy them as a set, and then some dielectric grease to put inside the connections that stops with that corrosion. Yeah, so I think that's about it. All right, so we'll see you on the next video. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, if it's over there or over here or wherever it is, and share this video with your friends. All right, peace.